Live from our Kwacha studios in Blantyre, we bring you the morning edition of MBC News with me, Hilda Ngomano. Coming up. President Mutharika assures Malawians that his administration will not shield anyone involved in corruption. Government says its drive to boost human capital is the key to unlocking the nation's economic potential. And in business, the Reserve Bank of Malawi expresses confidence in the country's ability to achieve a 5% inflation rate by the year 2029. Thanks for joining us. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has assured Malawians that his administration will not shield anyone involved in corruption. In a statement issued Saturday, the president said he is closely monitoring the Public Accounts Committee's inquiry into the sale of Amaryllis Hotel and emphasized that the committee has his full support. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has assured all Malawians of his administration's commitment to transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. In the statement, President Mutharika says that the fact that the inquiry is taking place is proof of his government's resolve to let oversight institutions work without interference. He has therefore reiterated his government's firm stance in the fight against corruption, saying his administration is not in office for a feast. According to the president, the public office is a sacred trust bestowed by the people of Malawi, and any misuse of public resources or influence for personal gain is a serious betrayal of that trust. Government says it will intensify efforts in human capital development to foster national growth. Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Brighton Saka, stated this during the 11th graduation ceremony at Dayang University. Patrick Dambula provides the details in this report.
During the 11th graduation of Dayang University, 39 students have graduated from the College of Information and Communication Technology, while 48 have graduated from the College of Nursing, bringing the total number to 88. Speaking during the event, Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Brighton Saka, said for any country to succeed, it must invest in the quality of its citizens first, and this can be done through education. He gave the example of the Malawi 2063, which is the country's blueprint, saying it needs adequate human capital development if its implementation is to be a success. Msaka then applauded Dayang University, saying government needs the private sector in education so as to increase access to higher education. He said this is the reason why government is partnering the private sector in building human capital.
I came here to support private sector investment in higher education, like the Young University has done, to ensure that they know that we as government appreciate the role they are playing in increasing the number of Malawians having access to higher education. So my coming here was to reassure the Young University that we shall work with them to ensure that hand in hand together with government, we achieve the human capital that we want as a country.
Chancellor of Dayang University, Sohyaki Chang, said it is pleasing that the university is molding students who are becoming leaders in various aspects of the country's development.
Finally, a total number of graduates is more than actual registered student numbers. So we totally made almost 700 graduates. And as of today, our registered student number is 688. And we made 698 graduates. So I'm so touched and so happy that we created such a beautiful, talented young individual to lead Malawi.
Dayang University opened its doors in 2014 with only 2 faculties, ICT and Nursing. Currently, the institution plans to expand by adding 2 more programs by the year 2028. Patrick Dambula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Tobacco Commission, TC, says it is intensifying efforts to curb illegal vending at cross-border trading of tobacco in order to safeguard the revenue generated from the sector. TC Director of Finance Chimwemwe Luhanga emphasized that the Commission is working with the Malawi Police to enhance strategies that will curb malpractice for the benefit of the country. He made the remarks during an orientation on the Tobacco Industry Commission Act of 2024, which took place in Kasungu and Mchinji districts. We have a report.
Each year, the tobacco marketing season faces challenges from illegal vending and cross-border trading. As one way of curbing these malpractices ahead of this year's marketing season, Tobacco Commission Director of Finance, Chimwemwe Luhanga, said the Commission is strengthening collaboration and coordination with the Malawi Police, particularly in hotspot areas, to leave no room for illegal acts.
We realize that our police service is one of the key stakeholders that we can work with to enforce the provision of the Tobacco Industry Act. So today we're sharing with them the specific provisions in the Tobacco Industry Act to empower them that when they go back they can effectively implement and enforce the law.
Officer in charge for Mchinji Police Assistant Commissioner David Kumwenda said the police, together with the Tobacco Commission, will not tolerate any illegal acts and will work strictly according to the laws of Malawi.
We'll make sure that all those people who are trying to smuggle or illegally export tobacco, with the strategies that we have, patrols, border police, and even the community policing, we'll make sure that we prevent those malpractices. If we find the suspects doing that, we will apprehend them and bring them to court of law.
Commenting on the same, Officer in charge for Kasungu Police Assistant Commissioner Alexander Moyo said the police will intensify daily patrols while engaging the community through community forums to curb illegal vending and cross-border tobacco trading. For his part, Tobacco Commission Enforcement and Liaison Manager Chimwemwe Chifomboti said illegal vending and illegal cross-border trade remain major challenges for both the Commission and the country. The orientation, which took place in Kasungu and Mchinji districts, gathered police from both Central West region and Central East region, with plans to expand to other regions in order to familiarize the police with the Act. The Tobacco Industry Act of 2024 provides the legal foundation for regulating the tobacco sector in Malawi, ensuring sustainable growth of the industry and promoting best agricultural practices.
Religious gatherings have been described as key to fostering love and unity among Christian women. Speaking after the International Women's Day of Prayer in Mzimba District, organizing chairperson Annie Ndolo said the day is vital as it allows women to meet and learn from one another. Evarista Lungu compiled this report, read by Blessings Conway.
The International Women's Day of Prayer in Mzimba started with a walk from Mzimba town to Kaputa CCP Church. Speaking after the ceremony, chairperson of Mzimba Zone Women, Annie Ndolo, said through the event, women shared ideas on a number of things, among them how to grow spiritually, how to run small-scale businesses, and managing their families.
It is very important for women to come together. Here we discuss welfare for women who come from different churches and promote spiritual life.
Director for events Dorothy Ziva encouraged fellow women to actively participate in such gatherings, saying they are beneficial to their personal and community growth.
I am encouraging every woman to be participating in this event. It ensures that we know each other.
The event was held under the theme, Come and you find the peace.
As part of celebrations marking International Women's Day, female employees from the Electricity Supply Corporation of Malawi ESCOM have donated various gifts to top-performing learners in science subjects at Lisawo Primary School in Chiradzulu. Speaking at the event, the organizing chairperson for the celebrations, Isabel Mangulenje, said the initiative was designed to motivate learners to excel in their studies with a special focus on science subjects. Details in this report.
Mangulenje said in line with the company's corporate social responsibility, they decided to also include a safety awareness session for the learners, highlighting the importance of electricity safety and responsible energy use.
We decided to come to Chiradzulu in a rural primary school. We wanted to motivate a girl child in the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics field. And we awarded best performing children in these subjects. So we awarded girls as well as boys, because we know we don't have to motivate only girl child as well as boy child. And as well as we wanted to give them information about vandalism, about corruption, and how they can, about safety. They need to take care. Electricity is dangerous. So we had to give out all this information.
Head teacher for the school, Vincent Noah, expressed gratitude, saying the donation will help to motivate the learners and contribute to raising the overall standards of education at the institution.
Very glad because of the donation donated by the ESCOM. In fact, they advised us to pick 6 learners from standard 6 up to standard 8. That way we have the girls, 6 girls and 4 boys. Their donation has motivated the girls and even the boys. And I'm not doubting, because all the learners, having seen that their friends have received the donations, they work hard.
After the donation, the celebrations continued with a women conference at the Malawi Sun Hotel in Blantyre, where ESCOM officials vowed to increase the number of female employees from 10 to 40% by 2027. Gladys Kalinde is Acting Director of Transmission for ESCOM.
According to integrated strategic plan, which we had starting from 2023 to 2027, as an organization, we plan to increase women representation from slightly lower than 10% to 40% by 2027. The reason is for inclusion. Inclusion will increase diversity. So if we are increasing this, it means decision making will also be enhanced. As we increase the number of ladies into leadership position, what we are saying here is we are increasing the accountability of the works.
International Women's Day is observed annually on March 8, and this year's theme was Give to Gain. George Banda, NBC News, Blantyre.
This is NBC News, a reminder of our top stories. President Mutharika assures Malawians that his administration will not shield anyone involved in corruption. Government says its drive to boost human capital is the key to unlocking the nation's economic potential. And in business, the Reserve Bank of Malawi expresses confidence in the country's ability to achieve a 5% inflation rate by the year 2029. The Technical, Entrepreneurial and Vocational Education and Training Authority, TVETA, says it will soon review its curriculum to keep pace with rapid changes taking place in various industries. The authority says the move is aimed at ensuring that graduates have skills that match modern technology and industry demands. Smart Chaliga reports.
TVETA says the current curriculum was last reviewed in 2017, a development that has left Malawi lagging behind in adapting to global technological advancements, especially with the rise of artificial intelligence. Speaking to NBC TVETA Executive Director Erwin Sichuola said the planned review will focus on strengthening technical, entrepreneurial and vocational training so that graduates can meet the demands of the modern job market.
Malawi is, through the TVET authority, but also Minister of Labour, Skills and Innovation, is going to embark on a wholesale review of the TVET curriculum. As you may recall, the standard practice is that the curriculum is not casted on a stone. It's supposed to be a living document. The last time we did a wholesale review of our curriculum was in 2017, and so many years down the line there have been so many changes.
Education expert Limbani Sabato has welcomed the development, saying updating the curriculum is necessary to maintain relevance in an evolving job market driven by new technologies.
This is a very positive development because since 2017 a lot of things have happened. the labor market has changed, and the industries, they need different skills. For example, right now, you know that there is a lot of penetration of ICT, information technology. We have had issues around climate change and the other socio-economic challenges. So within that, it means that the skills that were needed maybe 5-10 years ago are no longer viable.
The curriculum review is expected to align vocational and technical training with the current industry needs, a move stakeholders believe will help prepare Malawi's workforce for the fast-changing global economy. Smart Chalika, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Reserve Bank of Malawi, RBM, has expressed confidence that the country will achieve its 5% inflation target by 2029. Esther Machado, the RBM's Director of Financial Markets, affirmed the realism of this projection during a Monetary Policy Committee MPC Technical Forum in Blantyre. Details in this report.
The Central Bank held a technical forum to enlighten stakeholders on the Monetary Policy Committee's recent decision to reduce the policy rate to 24% from 26%, premised on the easing inflation. However, some stakeholders are of the view that the 5% inflation projection is far-fetched and ambitious. The chairperson of the MPC Technical Forum, who is Director of Financial Markets at RBM, Esther Machado, still maintains the MPC's stance of a positive inflation outlook.
So indeed it may look ambitious because we are looking at about 24.8% by year end, and compared to the 5 years, it's ambitious, but it's something that we are not aiming at achieving this like in the shortest term, but in the medium term that is achievable. That's why the coordination that we talked about is necessary. If we all continue on this path, that should be achievable in the medium term.
The Economics Association of Malawi, ECOMA's Executive Director Esme Korihea Kanyumbu calls for the monetary authorities to stick to supporting measures.
Keeping on tightening monetary policy wouldn't help much because inflation has been driven much from the supply side. And we're also happy that it has been reduced, but not that much. It has been reduced caution because we foresee some risks to inflation, notably the continued pressures on the exchange rate. And more recently, we've also noted the tension in the Middle East.
Rupert Nkono is the Publicity Secretary for the Financial Market Dealers Association, FIMDA.
So their decision to drop it by 2% is welcome. And of course, we had some questions because we had seen increases in pump prices. Fiscal policy also making some other decisions where we were a little confused. So we came here to have a discussion and see what was their thinking and where they see things going long term, not just now. So I think they have addressed a lot of our questions, a lot of our concerns.
Currently, the expectation is a slowed rate in the price increase of goods and services, with the movement standing at 24.9%. Meanwhile, the RBM is upbeat that by close of this year, inflation will have hit 18%, signaling a likely further drop. Elin Chimoyo, MBC News, Blantyre.
50 police officers have graduated as detectives following a 2-month criminal investigation department course at Limbi Police Training School. Speaking during the ceremony, Commissioner for Police and Director of Human Resource Management and Development, Evarista Gisale, urged the newly graduated detectives to be agents of justice and apply the knowledge gained in a rightful manner. Opile Kaisa has details in this report.
The 2-month criminal investigation department course drew police officers from police stations across the country to strengthen their capacity for modern criminal investigations. Guest of honor at the event, Commissioner for Police and Director of Human Resource Management and Development, Evarista Gisale, emphasized that the digital age requires a more sophisticated police force. She observed that as criminals move into the digital world, detectives must be equipped to track and apprehend culprits.
These officers that you are seeing here, they were attached to CID, but they were not trained officers. So there were a lot of maybe issues that were coming from the members of the public, maybe the way they were handling issues, the way they are handling cases, and also the way they were handling people when they were investigating their cases. So there was like a shortfall that the officers were not fully trained. It means they didn't know what they are supposed to do. So it was the wish of the Inspector General that when we take officers for training, they should come here to be imparted with skills and knowledge, how they can investigate cases, how they can handle suspects. Maybe the issues previously that our officers, they were manhandling suspects.
Commissioner Chisale further cautioned the new detectives against the corrupt practices and temptations of misconduct.
I stressed on the issues of corruption. Our officers are not supposed to conduct themselves or involve themselves into corruption. And I've stressed that if there will be any officer that will be found doing corruption, he will be dealt with. He will be disciplinary or dismissed from Malawi service.
One of the detectives, Wezi Piri, expressed gratitude for the training and pledged to uphold professionalism.
Well, this course has taught me a lot. So as a professional, I believe that I'm going to work to the best of my ability. At first I was working, but I did not really have the knowledge and skills. But as I live, I know that this knowledge that I've gained here and the skills that I've gained, I'm going to improve in my investigative issues. Because if you're not qualified enough, you cannot investigate properly. There are certain tools that you need after qualification. We'll make sure that we go according to what the law says, because as a police officer, you are a law enforcer, and as a law enforcer, you're supposed to follow the law. Be professional, avoid corruption to the best of our ability. I think that's what we will do.
Out of the 50 officers, 38 are male and 12 are female. Upile Kaisa, MBC News, Blantyre.
In sports, organizers of the 4th Mzuzu City Half Marathon have called on well wishers to support the upcoming event. Adron Soya, the event's organizing chairperson, made the appeal after leading a joint health walk with several Mzuzu-based institutions to promote the marathon. Hassan Piri has more in this report.
Various institutions, including men and women in uniform, on Friday participated in a 10-kilometer health walk aimed at raising awareness and building excitement ahead of the upcoming Mzuzu Half Marathon scheduled for March 28, 2026. The health walk started at the Mzuzu Clock Tower roundabout and passed through several key locations, including Masasa, Mzuzu Stadium, Katawa, Chiputula, connecting the M1 road, Katoto, and concluding at the Nzimba North District Council offices. Chairperson of the organizing committee for the Mzuzu Half Marathon 2026 edition, Adron Nsoya, appealed for more support to make the event a success.
The budget for the whole Mzuzu Half Marathon is 40 million kwacha. We have raised about 37 million kwacha. Now to successfully carry this event, we are needing about 3 million kwacha as of now. But now I want the Mzuzu business people, Mzuzu individuals to come and support this event because it's held in Mzuzu and it's their city. So they need to come and support us to have a colorful event.
One of the participating institutions, Moyale Barracks, through their representative Michael Chimwala, pledged support to ensure that the 4th edition of the Mzuzu Half Marathon remains a trademark sporting event for the city.
Sports brings people together. Sports brings communities together. So it is always, I always encourage actually the stakeholders out there, the companies out there, all the individuals who have the capacity, who has the ability to be partners or to help with the marathon, half marathon. They're always welcome.
Some of the institutions that joined Malawi National Council of Sports in the awareness health walk include Ministry of Education, the Judiciary, Malawi Housing Corporation, the Anti-Corruption Bureau, Immigration Department, Malawi Defense Force, MDF, Malawi Police Service, and Malawi Prison Services, among others. Hassan Piri, MBC News, Mzuzu.
Well, that item also concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. President Mutharika assures Malawians that his administration will not shield anyone involved in corruption. Government says its drive to boost human capital is the key to unlocking the nation's economic potential. And in business, the Reserve Bank of Malawi expresses confidence in the country's ability to achieve a 5% inflation rate by the year 2029. Well, keep up to date with the news coverage on our digital pages by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You were with me, Hilda Ngomano. Thanks for watching and bye for now.
Sabara ino mu program ya Woman Talk.
Kawiri anthufe timaonetsa umbuli mene timachitira zinthu.
Tili nchalichi abusa ali biza kulalikira iwe uli pa phone. Tizikhala